Welcome to another session of Stelmo's Rants and Raves. I'm Stelmo, and so here we go. So, the Liberty Daily is running an article that I'll read the headline here. Americans are getting behind on their debt at a very frightening pace. Yes, inflation. And I don't know how many ways I can say this, but anybody who goes shopping and has been shopping for, let's say, a number of years, they know, at least when it comes to groceries, which is a major household purchase, the actual rate of inflation is much greater than what they claim. You know, I remember back when President Trump was putting on the tariffs, and they were saying that, oh no, the prices aren't going to go up. Well, guess what? In my Walmart, the prices went up, and they went up 35 to 40%, which just so happens to be where we were told that the tariffs were at that level. Now, I'm not saying I'm anti-tariff. I understand what Donald Trump is doing with tariffs, and I definitely support that. But you have to not just be realistic, you have to be honest in detailing what's going on out there. And our government has never been honest when it comes to the inflation rate. And why is that? Well, because the United States pays every year, there is a COLA, cost of living allowance, given to people who get government benefits. And whatever the inflation rate is generally going to be what the raise is. So if they keep the inflation rate low, the amount that they're going to be paying to people is going to be less. Now, the major recipient of these federal governments, of course, is Social Security, although there are others as well. And everyone knows that Social Security, as it is right now, is unsustainable. And that's all, in my humble opinion, a part of our government's fault. And unfortunately, I think there are too many voters out there that don't follow the issues. They don't understand our financial predicament. And they keep voting the people in who created this problem. And that's going to be a problem on steroids. And I personally believe that our financial system is collapsing right now. I've heard the term in the past of voodoo economics. And that's what our government is providing, because what they tell us is not true. Now, we know from BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics, we know they always get the employment numbers wrong, because they're always having to go back and revise it. And it's not like they just go back one time and revise it. They revise it for a number of months going back. And these are substantial, sometimes, reductions. But people always hear the number that comes out. And, everything's great, everything's good. Well, everything is not good. Everything is not great. And this article, what it talks about is, and it says here, in 1980, U.S. households were just $1.4 trillion in debt. Just $1.4 trillion. Boy, oh boy, I'll tell you. But then it talks about what it is now is $18.79 trillion in debt. And of course, many of these people are not able to pay this debt back. The reason that they assumed and took on this debt was because they really needed the money for their basic living expenses. Food has gotten so expensive. I don't know how many families out there are making it. I really do not. I know I just shake my head when I'm in the store. And I just say, this can't go on. This can't keep going on. People can't afford this. And with everything else going up, I don't know where it's going to end. We have the war in Iran. I cannot figure this out for the life of me. The sooner we go in and end this, the sooner we can get the Strait of Hormuz open, and the sooner we can get oil prices starting to come down. But even if that all were to happen today, which it's not going to, but if it did happen today, we'll still be feeling in many areas the pain and shock from this a year from now, perhaps even longer. But it's not ending. So far as I could see, nothing is being done to end it, except for it appears to me that they're negotiating with the regime that caused all the problems, which makes about a zero sense to me. They can't be trusted. They've never been honest in any of their dealings in the past, so why trust them now? You have them on the outs, take them out. We have to take over the Strait of Hormuz. And what I see from Donald Trump is, and I hate to say this, but it appears to me like he's trying to scare them into submission. And all I can say, Mr. President, these are religious zealots. The things that influence you and me aren't going to influence them. And, you've weakened them so substantially. Their numbers have been decimated. And it just seems to me all we're doing now is giving them time to regroup, to pretty much we've admitted that they still have plenty of rockets left. And all we can do is hope that they don't send out a barrage of these rockets and take out a major oil-producing plant or refinery there in one of the other Arab countries, which might take months, if not years, to repair and get back online. I see no advantage to the way this is playing out. It started well, but now it appears to me that the president's looking for an off-ramp. And I'm not necessarily against an off-ramp, but I asked the president to just remember what you told the people of Iran. You told them to take to the street. You told them you had their back. You told them you would get involved if they started killing people. Well, they started killing people, Mr. President, and they continue. Just this very day, I'm reading articles about people who have died over there because they are protesting, something you implored upon them to do. I think, I support you, Mr. President, generally, but I don't support how this is playing out. Your second term here, I'm really concerned about a lot of the things that I see because it's nothing like your first term. You started out like a bat out of heck, but then all of a sudden, apparently something has happened. I don't know what it is, but it's changed the way and the outlook of everything that's happening out there. The war is going crazy. Apparently, they've stopped all of the ICE raids and apprehensions. I know here in Florida, the story is they're going to be closing that Florida Alcatraz. Yeah, I can assure you there's still plenty of illegal immigrants here. All one needs to do is go down to Fort Myers and go to the Ortez Avenue Flea Market on a Sunday, and you would clean up. It would be amazing how many illegal aliens you could get. Likewise, there are several. In almost every city, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of illegal immigrants. And, I heard the stories, I read the stories. I've talked to people who have lost people that worked for them because of ICE, and this all happened in the beginning, and now it's not very much. Now I know perhaps the budget problems with ICE is influencing things somewhat. But I've always been told that law enforcement is one area that doesn't get cut, even in a budget stalemate like we have. But apparently there's limits to everything. And again, in that respect, the Democrats or the American Socialist Party has made clear their position on that. But I don't know how this will play out. But I know that every month there are more and more people who have to give up something in order to keep themselves fed, clothed, and at work. And more and more people are not just falling behind, but are in their own doom loops. And as this article points out, it's not going to play out well. It's not going to bode well because these people, they're now starting to default on their debt. And it's not that they're doing this because that's what they want to do. It's because they have no other viable options. You know, there's only so many side hustles you can work besides having a full-time job. A body will only take so much. But becoming more and more expensive every day. And, you know, when I look at the prices in the store, I say, you know what? This is not going to play out because all those prices are going to come up. You know, oil's $100 and some a barrel right now. Gas and diesel are going to continue to rise. Diesel is at an obscene price, going to $5.50 a gallon. It doesn't bode well for prices in the stores, but there's not a lot we can do other than we have to do a lot of praying, no doubt, and we got to keep our hope up, and hopefully this plays out in a better way than what I see in the future, because I don't think things bode well, and it's going to become ever more. I'm going to say tragic is the word to use here. It's going to be tragic for the American public. And with that, I will let you go. Y'all have a great day. Stay safe. It's a crazy world out there. Bye-bye.